Well, no sooner than we make a Jake Bates contract video, we find out that the Detroit Lions made a corresponding move with the signing of Jake Bates. This is big. This is big. Check this out. Coming from Detroit Lions Twitter about 20 minutes ago from the making of this video, says the Lions have signed kicker Jake Bates and waived kicker James Turner. Why is this such a big deal? Because we were talking about potentially it being 3 kickers heading into training camp, which the dates have been announced, by the way. We will go over that in a different video. But we were talking about those guys going into the training camp and how it is, we knew it was kind of, I thought it was Michael Badgley's job to lose, and that Turner could be putting some pressure on Badgley as well. But it turns out that the Detroit Lions must have tremendous faith in Jake Bates because they have waived James Turner. Why is this significant? Because most teams have a roster kicker, a 53-man roster kicker, and a practice squad kicker. Now, here's my thoughts. You're only going to keep 3 special teamers. You're going to keep the long snapper, the punter, and the kicker. So that means with James Turner now waived, that the Detroit Lions, the competition is going to come down to Michael Badgley and Jake Bates. This to me is huge. It's very significant because there were other teams looking for a guy like Jake Bates. We know there were 4 who wanted his services. He chose the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions just signed him to a multi-year deal. Now, what does that mean for Michael Badgley? Badgley has been on this team several other times before. He's been on the practice squad of this team before. I assure you, in my honest opinion, with the Detroit Lions are confident, extremely confident in Jake Bates, because if you're not going to risk Jake Bates on the practice squad. Why? Because Jake Bates can only be protected, I want to say it's 4 times per season. If you put a guy like Jake Bates on the practice squad, you're going to have to protect him immediately. Somebody is going to try to poach him from the practice squad. And then the Detroit Lions are going to have to make a decision on whether or not they want to take that risk. But if you do it with Badgley, you've already done that several times over. So this has just got interesting because instead of the 3 kicker dynamic, I was assuming this. Michael Badgley would be the starter, the presumed starter, and that Jake Bates and James Turner would be competing for the number 2, the practice squad, spot, but maybe even the starter spot. And even though I just said Jake Bates, I don't see Jake Bates on the practice squad. I don't. I mean, the Lions could choose to protect him if he wound up on the practice squad. So what this means is that going into training camp, all right, these 2 guys are going to be kicking for the starting job. So even though Jake Bates is kind of raw, I mean, if you come and you don't kick a field goal kick since high school, right? And you are this is why Jake Bates, in my opinion, I'm going to put that Jake Bates is going to win the starting job. And the reason I say that is because he is a kickoff specialist. And with the new kickoff rules, and I think that was the most appealing thing. You have his leg. He needs to work on his consistency. We need to see what he can do in the NFL, but he is a kickoff specialist, right? So Michael Badgley does not kick off kickoffs. He does not kick kickoffs. He does not kick kickoffs. So in my opinion, Jake Bates has the leg up, no pun intended, on Michael Badgley. So put in the comments below, did you expect James Turner to be waived, the UDFA from Michigan? I'm sure he'll land on his feet somewhere. And don't forget the Detroit Lions can bring him back if he's not claimed off waivers. And who do you expect to have the starting job? I'm going to call it now. I think even though Michael Badgley was extremely solid for us last year, coming in clutch, I mean, I'm going to give him a lot of the credit as the reason we won the LA Rams game. But this is telling me that I think Michael Badgley is going to win. I'm sorry, Jake Bates is going to win the starting job, because he's got that element of being a kickoff specialist as well. So let me know in the comments below, who do you think is going to win the job for the Detroit Lions, the starting job for the Detroit Lions at kicker? Let me know your thoughts. Remember, this channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. We are about 90 subscribers away from hitting 21K, where we will have our next subscriber giveaway. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.